we are going to start the measurement of volume. So first of all, we should know what is volume. Volume is the space occupied by an object. For example, this object I am having. So the space occupied means length, breadth and height. Occupied three-dimensional space occupied by this object is nothing but its volume. Fine. Next, we are having SI unit of volume. So SI unit of volume is meter cube. Why we are having meter cube, not why we are not having here meter square? Because in area we are having just length and breadth of any plane figure. But in volume we are having length also, we are having breadth also, even though we are having height also. So three measurements are there, three physical quantities are there, length is also there, breadth is also there, height is also there. That is why here we are using meter cube. So SI unit of volume is meter cube and CGS unit of volume is centimeter cube. Next, we are having submultiples units of volume. So now we are going to study about the submultiples, as well as here only we will study about the multiples also of volume. So what do you mean by submultiples and multiple? Submultiple units are that units which are used for smaller measurement. If I am having very small volume, so for very small volume, which physical quantity I am using here or which unit I am going to use here? So as we know, meter cube is a unit of volume which we are using for the volume of big bodies. Meter cube is a SI unit which we are using for the big bodies like volume of tank filled with water, okay, or volume of room. So meter cube you can use for like bigger bodies, but if I'm going to use for the smaller bodies, so if I'm having very small like object and I want to measure the volume of this very small object, so which units I'm going to use here for the smaller measurement? I'm going to use centimeter cube. So here we are having relation 1 meter cube. So 1 meter cube we are going to write it as 1 meter multiply 1 meter multiply 1 meter. So as we know, 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeter. So instead of 1 meter we are going to write 100 centimeter, 100 centimeter, 100 centimeter. So 1 meter cube is equals to this much centimeter cube. This is the relation between SI unit and CGS unit of volume. A still smaller unit for the volume is millimeter cube. Centimeter cube is also a smaller unit or submultiple of volume, but still if you want to see any smaller unit of volume, so that is millimeter cube. Millimeter cube is also the submultiple of the measurement of volume. So here we are going to write the relationship between 1 centimeter cube and 1 millimeter cube. So 1 centimeter cube, can we write it as 1 centimeter multiply 1 centimeter multiply 1 centimeter? And we know 1 centimeter is equals to 10 millimeter. 1 centimeter is always equals to 10 millimeter. Instead of 1 centimeter, I am going to write here 10 millimeter and 10 millimeter. So by solving it, we can get 1 centimeter cube is equals to 1000 meter cube. This is very important relation from paper or exam point of view, that 1 centimeter cube, like this question will ask to you, 1 centimeter cube is equals to dash millimeter cube. So here you have to put the value 1000 millimeter cube. Next topic we are having capacity. So what do you mean by capacity? The volume of liquid like milk, oil, petrol, etc. are measured in liters and milliliter. As we know, whenever we are going to some shop in order to like buy some oil, petrol, so there we are using the terms liter and milliliter in order to measure the volume of that liquids. So we should know what is capacity. Capacity means the inner volume of the container which holds a liquid. So this inner volume of this container which this can hold a liquid, that is known as its capacity. So what is the capacity of this like glass? What is the capacity of this conical flask? Capacity means the amount of volume or the inner volume of the container which holds a liquid. That much volume of the container is known as its capacity. Next we are having capacity is the space inside the container, or you can write like this also, that capacity is the space, whatever space is present inside this container which can hold a liquid, that space is nothing but its capacity. Next we are having SI unit of capacity. As we know, whenever we are using any physical quantity, that time we are using its some units. And even though we are using some SI units, since System International the units, so the SI unit system of capacity is liter. SI unit is liter, and its submultiples and multiples are also there like other physical quantities. So submultiple is centiliter. 1 centiliter is equals to 1 by 100 liter. And one we are having milliliter, 1 milliliter is equals to 1 by 10 centiliter, or you can say 1 by 1000 liter. As liter is its SI unit, centiliter and milliliter are its submultiples. Next we are having its multiple, this is its multiple, kiloliter. So 1 kiloliter is equals to 1000 liters. And next we are having volume of regular solids. So how to measure the volume of regular solids and what are regular solids? Now we are going to study that. A cube, cuboid, sphere and a cylinder are regular solids. Means whatever things we are watching in our surrounding that are having fixed like length, fixed height or fixed diameter radius, that all solids are known as regular solids. For example, cube, cuboid, sphere, cylinder, they all are regular solid as they have definite geometric shape. Because they are having all definite geometric shape, and volume of these regular solids can be determined by using certain formulas. And what are that formulas? In the next slide we are going to study about the formulas of regular solids. So here we are having formulas for the volume. First we are having volume of cube. This is a cube, and for example the side or the edge of this cube is A. So what is its volume? Volume of cube is side cube, that is A multiply A multiply A. Means 3 times we have to multiply the side, we will get the volume. Next we are having volume of cuboid. This is a kind of cuboid which is having some kind of length, which is having breadth and height. So how to measure the volume of cuboid? By using the formula length multiply breadth multiply height. Next we are having volume of sphere. This is a kind of sphere. So how to measure the volume of sphere? By using the formula 4 by 3 pi r cube. So what do you mean by here r? R means radius of sphere. R means this one, radius of sphere. And what do you mean by pi? Pi is a constant value, that is 22 by 7. In all numericals we are going to use the same pi value, that is 22 by 7, or you can use 3.14 also. This is also same value. Fine. 4 by 3 is constant, pi is constant. By knowing its radius, we will calculate the volume of sphere. Next we are having volume of cylinder. This is a kind of cylinder. So here in cylinder, this is a radius of cylinder. This is the height of cylinder. Fine. So by using the formula pi r square h, where pi is some constant value 22 by 7, r is the radius of cylinder, and h means this height of cylinder. By knowing all these values, we will calculate the volume of cylinder. Next we are having volume of cone. So how to measure the volume of cone? First of all, this is a kind of cone. Okay. So how to measure the volume of cone? By using formula 1 by 3 pi r square h. So here what do you mean by r? R is a radius. R is the radius of this cone. H means the height of this cone. And pi value now might be you are knowing, that is 22 by 7, that is constant value. Next we are having vessels used for measuring volumes. So now which vessels we are going to use in the like chemistry lab or physics lab in order to know, or in order to measure the volumes or capacity. So here we are having some of the vessels. First we are having measuring cylinder. So measuring cylinder is usually used in laboratories in order to measure the volume of liquids, and even though we can measure the regular solids also, volume of regular solid also of small size, by using this measuring cylinder. Fine. Next vessel we are having measuring can. This is a form of measuring can in which we are going to measure the volume of kerosene or lubricating oils. If you want to measure the volume of kerosene or lubricant oils, then we are using the measuring can. Next we are having vessels used, that is third, measuring beaker. So measuring beaker is commonly used in order to measure the volume of milk or used to measure the volume of edible oil. This is a form of measuring beaker. This is also we are using in chemistry or physics lab also. Fine. Next we are having graduated cylinder. Why this name is graduated? Because here some marks are given, some graduations are given. So it is generally used by pharmacists. So pharmacists, they are using in order to measure the volume of liquid medicines. If they are giving liquid medicines to any patient, so in order to measure the volume of that liquid medicine, they are using this graduated cylinder. Next, we are having what is the relationship between volume and capacity of a container. So now we are going to see the relation between volume and capacity. As we know, volume is a three-dimensional space occupied by an object, and capacity is the inner volume of any container. Fine. So now we are going to do the relation between the volume and capacity of container. So volume we know it is centimeter cube, capacity we know milliliter. This is first relationship 1 centimeter cube is equals to 1 milliliter. Next we are having 1000 centimeter cube is equals to 1 liter. This is very important from exam points of view also, that 1 centimeter cube is equals to dash milliliter, or they can ask 1000 centimeter cube is equals to dash liter. So here you need to put the values 1 and 1. Fine. Next we are having 1 meter cube. 1 meter cube is equals to 1000 liter, or you can say 1 kiloliter. This relation is also very important. Next we are having measuring the volume of a liquid using graduated cylinder and graduated beaker. Now we have studied that many vessels are there in order to measure the volume. Now how to use that measuring cylinder or graduated beaker, graduated cylinder, how to use them, now we are going to study one by one. So the volume of given liquid can be easily measured by using graduated cylinder and by using graduated beaker. So let us see by using measuring cylinder how to find the volume of any liquid by using graduated cylinder. First of all, we have to take the clean and dry measuring cylinder. Now we have to pour the liquid. For example, in this beaker one liquid is there and I have to check the volume of this liquid. Fine. So what I will do, I will take one dry and clean measuring cylinder. Now I will pour this volume, this liquid I will pour into this measuring cylinder. Now I will find that some kind of liquid surface is there. Here one curved surface is formed in the measuring cylinder. So this curved surface is curved shape is nothing but a meniscus. Meniscus means what? The curved surface which is formed at the upper layer of liquid, that is a meniscus. Now we have to note the reading of this meniscus. As you can see here, reading is 210. So here this volume of liquid must be 210. If it is in ml, then 210 ml. Fine. So this is a way you can say full-fledged measuring cylinder. Here this much volume, this much meniscus is there. Here you can note down the reading. So here volume of liquid is 210 ml. So by this way simply we can measure the volume of any liquid. Fine. Next we are having volume of irregular solids. Now how to measure the volume of irregular solids, that we have to study. First of all, what are irregular solids? Irregular solids are that solids which do not have any definite geometrical shape. Okay, and we cannot determine the volume of that irregular shape object directly by formulas. Here irregular will come. Irregular solids have no definite geometrical shape and we cannot find the volume directly by using formula. Like in a form of regular shape, we are having one cube, that volume we are easily measuring, side cube. If we are having cuboid, cuboid is a regular solid, we are using length into breadth into height. These kind of thing we can easily measure the volume. But if I am having this kind of volume, so how I will find by using any formula? Because I am not having any kind of formula in order to measure this. So how to measure this volume of irregular solids? Here we are having. So we can determine the volume of irregular solid with the help of measuring cylinder. Before only I have taught you about the measuring cylinder. So this we are going to use measuring cylinder in order to measure the volume of irregular solid. So what we have to do? We have to take a measuring cylinder. Here we have to take a measuring cylinder and we have to fill half it with water. Then fill half it with water. Now we have to place the cylinder on the horizontal place or horizontal surface table. Now carefully note down the reading of meniscus. This reading carefully we have to note. Okay. Then we have to take the small stone piece. For example, this stone piece, this volume of stone I have to measure. How much volume of stone is there? Okay. Then we have to tie a thread. Firstly take a stone and tie a thread on that stone. And then gently immerse that stone that is tied with a string into a water. Okay, in a measuring cylinder only. Then what we will see? We will see that firstly the volume of the liquid is still this. For example, this is 210 ml. But after immersed the stone into it by using a thread, it will rise the level. The water level will rise and for example here it will 310 ml. Okay, now in this case, I want to measure the volume of this solid. So how I will measure? I will just subtract the final and initial volume of liquid. So final volume of liquid is 310 ml minus initial volume is 210 ml. So by subtracting, what I will get? 100 ml. Fine. So means the volume of this irregular solid is what? 100 ml. This is the way how we can use graduated cylinder in order to know the volume of irregular solid. Volume of irregular solid can also be determined by using a overflow can. This is the overflow can, okay, or and the measuring cylinder. Here this we are having overflow can, this is overflow can, and this is measuring cylinder. So what we have to do, we can measure the volume of irregular solid. This volume of irregular solid we can easily measure by using overflow can and measuring cylinder. How? For example, in this overflow can, here till water is there. Till here water is there, and for example 210 ml water is contained in this overflowing can. Okay, then I will take one stone tied with a thread and I will gently immerse into the overflow can. Then downside I am having here measuring cylinder. So after immersing the stone into this water, some kind of water level will come up and it will go down to the measuring cylinder. So while going down to the measuring cylinder, for example, here 10 ml water came out. So this 10 ml of volume is nothing but the volume of this irregular solid. So how much amount of water came out? That much amount of volume is the volume of this irregular solid.